everyone, it's Suzanne Venker. Okay, question number, I don't know whatever it is. This is from Stephanie. Hi Suzanne, my husband turned me onto your website and I agree with everything you stand for. My question to you is this. I am a nurse that supervises other nurses and makes a pretty decent salary. My husband is self-employed as a personal trainer. He also stays home with our 2 daughters. Simply by virtue of my profession, I make more money than he does. He says he's very proud of me, and I don't think I lord it over him, but our sex life has really taken a nosedive since I got this promotion last year. I know he's dissatisfied with being a personal trainer, and he has said that he feels like he isn't providing for us. Okay. She goes on, but I'm going to stop it there. I'm in the midst of writing a rather lengthy article that explains why marriages and relationships tend to go south, specifically in the bedroom, when gender roles are reversed. It's a really touchy subject because it's not PC. We're not supposed to be different as men and women. We're supposed to be quote unquote equal, and therefore, if we're performing the same roles, why should that come out in the bedroom or in the relationship in any way? But the reality is that it does. And my book that I have coming out this year later on has a huge component. This is a huge component in that book. Here's the underlying reason why it happens. Because men and women are different, their needs, their desires, what they bring to the marriage table with respect to sex and relationships is different. The fact that women get pregnant and men do not is probably, well, not probably, it is the biggest difference between the sexes. That fact alone colors everything else. Because women have that capability, naturally, they don't need to produce in the way a man typically does in order to prove their value to society. They don't feel that urge because they're doing it naturally just simply by giving birth and nurturing a child. Whereas the man, because he can't do that, he needs some other means to produce, and he needs to feel as though he brings something unique to the table. And for most men, that's their work. That's why their identity is very much wrapped up in their work. That's not the case for most women. So when you attempt to do a role reversal, and it does work occasionally for some, by and large, it doesn't work. Because invariably, a man, or specifically a husband, will want to support you, like this woman's husband says. He technically supports her because men are born to please women and want to support them. But even they sometimes don't realize how it's going to ultimately affect them. That as time goes by, as long as he's not producing via the traditional way, he runs into feeling emasculated. And that invariably comes out in the bedroom because it's not sexy to be with a man who doesn't feel empowered on his own right, by his own right. And so I think people need to be a little bit more sympathetic to this situation that we're dealing with in America today, which is not going away. It's just going to continue to get more and more, these situations are going to be more and more common. And we need to be more sympathetic to the nature aspect of male and female, which is the purpose of this book that I've written, and understand how to work with the modern day way of doing things and combine that with what we know about male and female nature. When we can do that, we find ourselves much happier and we can be successful. But as long as we're bucking this nature and insisting on trying to make it something it's not, we're going to suffer. And that's what's happening, I believe, with this woman who wrote in. I'm sure she is being nothing but I'm sure she's not purposefully doing anything to make her husband feel that way. He just does feel that way, and he's going to continue to feel that way as long as she's the primary earner, especially since he's not satisfied in his own professional endeavors. That's another big thing. It's not that you necessarily have to make a great deal more than your wife, but you do have to be doing something that you're extremely passionate about and that is successful in its own right, even if that success isn't necessarily money. It's really more about men feeling worthy in their own right, whatever that means for them, and bringing that to the table. And when he doesn't, relative to the woman, things go south. So it's a touchy subject. I went on a little bit longer than I intended to, but it's an important one, and I'll be discussing it again for sure. So I hope that helps. Thank you.